All right, on this episode of Bare Knuckle Radio, very excited to be talking to an individual who competed at BYB 22 Rocky Mountain Brawl and very much shined, to say the very least. That went all down on December the 2nd, BYB Lightweight Championship, captured by Julio Tanori, and what a lot of people are understandably calling the fight of the year. And I think you can make that case for bare knuckle, certainly, but even across all combat sports, I'll say, when Julio Tanori unseated Mark Irwin via majority decision. And great having the new champ on the show. How's your day going there, Julio? Does that sound pretty good, new champ?
Yeah, that sounds perfect, bro. My day's going fine. I'm just blessed to have been living that moment, you know. I went through that experience, so now we're resting and stuff. Thank you, God.
And I guess just because you've had a bit of time to kind of process the victory and everything, like, does the victory feel a great deal different than, I guess, how you imagined it would? Like, through the camp, I imagine you were kind of thinking, like, what it would be like getting your ideal outcome, winning the title, etc. Like, where you're at now, does it feel a great deal different than what your preconceived notion was? Or would you say it kind of feels like exactly the same kind of positive feeling you figured? I guess I'm curious to get the insights there.
Okay, well, I feel it feels amazing, but to be honest, I don't think the job is done yet. So I don't feel the most. You understand? I don't feel the most uplifting, you could say. Not yet, because the job is not done. There's still a lot more stuff we got to do. But it feels great, you know. Well, I'm a champion that came out of nowhere. It's like I've been working hard, and I'm just blessed to be the champion.
Well, I think even the way you phrased it there showcases that championship mentality, because you hear a lot of fighters who get to that level of becoming champion and talk about how it's X amount degrees more difficult to maintain your place as champion than that route up there. So it sounds like you've got the proper mindset for everything.
Yes, sir, exactly. It's always above and beyond that we have to keep our mindset, which we're never done until we die, right?
But I mean, just such an incredible arc you've had so far. I mean, just the BYB debut, and I don't think as many people know this either, but just like your outright pro debut in any combat sport, and I mean, we're like a bit over a year out from that. Like, has this kind of been like a whirlwind for you almost? I mean, you're a champion now, and you've been in this sport and just a professional combatant for like a bit over a year now. Like, is it almost like, damn, this has been a bit of a whirlwind, or are you not surprised at all, just considering like what you put into it and everything?
Well, to be honest, there's a lot of times I'm just focused on what I do, really. So I do not see the, like, how other people would see it. You understand? So it's like I have a goal, and I'm just focusing that. So yeah, it's a little hard to see it like you're saying, but I see improvement and blessings. So that's what I do see, and I'm real grateful. So yeah, that's that. But it's amazing, man. It's a great to know that everything's coming together. And yeah, man. But job isn't done, like I was saying, so I can't really feel that full momentum, or you know. I just got the belt. That I gotta defend it at least once or twice to really feel, you know.
Yeah, no, I hear you, man. I guess I'm just curious as to, because I mean, you had the victory that was so incredible not really that long ago, which obviously we'll talk a bit about, but it seems like from, I guess what I'm parsing from what you're saying is you're almost looking towards who could be, you know, next in line, like the next guy to contend for the belt. Like in that sense, do you, I guess, maybe have a specific opponent or two that you think could maybe be the, I guess, one to challenge you for the crown, or is it more just a general idea of looking to, I guess, establish that champion legacy with some defenses? Like, do you have certain specific opponents in mind with that, or not so much?
Well, I do, but I'm not going to mention their names. There's already, you know, as soon as you become champ, everybody calls out your name. So I see a good lineup. That I might have to train and defend my belt against. So, yep, we gotta train hard, man. Sorry, a line of hyenas waiting for me.
Yeah, no, definitely more of a matchmaker kind of consideration. I mean, you're the champ, so people are going to be, coming after you anyway. You're just kind of like waiting for who the person is in a certain sense, but I guess just thought to ask. I mean, that does make sense, though, that there's probably a lineup of people looking to get at you, but I guess one of the facets of this Mark Irwin fight that I wanted to talk about, and I mean, has definitely gotten some traction for sure, so not alone in being a person that's talking about this. And I guess curious from your perspectives in the fight, because it seemed like one of the big visuals that came out of that card was the, pretty pronounced hematoma that Mark Irwin had. Like, how aware of that hematoma are you in the heat of the fight? Is it something you like are acutely aware of through the fight? Are you like noticing it more after and how the media is talking about it? Like, just curious to get your insights there.
Well, you know what I think of that, man, Dylan? What I think of that, at the moment of the heat of the motion of the fight, like you were saying, I should have tried to target that area. It sounds nasty and yeah, but that was like his most messed up side. So I could have probably finished the fight faster if I would have. But thing was, in the fight, I just noticed it, but I didn't use that to my advantage. I just noticed it and realized, like, okay, I'm doing good, but I should have moved differently around that situation, if you get what I'm trying to say. So in the heat of the moment, I didn't really think much of it. It was just, okay, I'm doing a good job.
Yeah, and I'm definitely going to talk about certain things related to the fight more so, but I guess I'm just curious to get your reactions if you saw any of the whole like Stephen A. Smith video of him talking about, the hematoma and if bare knuckle should be around and stuff like that. It seemed like it caused a bit of a kerfuffle there. Did you notice like Stephen A. Smith's commentary on your fight after the fact, or not so much?
Yes, sir. I actually thought it was fake. When somebody sent me the video, I thought it was like a edited version or something. Cause that's weird. Cause I don't really know who Stephen A. Smith is, but I've seen him around, and he's like in the social medias. So when I seen myself and Stephen A. Smith, it was like what? It was a little weird. But after I got it confirmed, and I thought that was pretty cool. Shoot.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting. I mean, fair enough. I mean, with all these AI videos out there, you never know what the actual score is sometimes. But, I mean, one of the big aspects of this fight was, I mean, really the reaction to it in a lot of ways. I mean, a lot of understandable praise heaped on it. Like I was kind of mentioning earlier in the conversation, like there's a lot of people that really view your Mark Irwin fight as, the best bare knuckle fight of the year, if not like the most entertaining of the calendar year. Like, what are your thoughts on that reception and everything like that? Like, is that, I mean, we talked a bit before about, being in the heat of the battle. Is that something you're like meaningfully aware of in the body of the fight, or are you more aware of like, how well the fight went over after the fact and how people are discussing it, I guess?
Yeah, yes, sir. At the battle of the moment, there's not much you remember, because I'm also getting hit as well, so it's like I just know we're going back and forth, right? But yeah, and plus I was exhausted because of the elevation, so that my main focus was on staying with air, with oxygen. So I didn't really think of it much. But after the fight, now that I see all the videos and everything, all the commotion, well, now I know like how it went down and everything. But in the moment, it's hard. It's hard to really know.
And you seem like a guy who's very focused on just like improvement and testing yourself and growing towards the next thing. Like, how much does a fight like that serve in your overall growth? Because I mean, like a real knockdown, drag out, intense fight. Like, how much does that level you up in terms of just your, I guess, experience, your confidence, etc.? It would seem like it would fit very nicely within this story of yours that's unfurling and everything.
Oh well, that's cool that you bring that up, bro. Because actually, this fight woke a different side of me. If y'all can say it like that, it woke up a different side of me. That I really got to push, because even though it was fight of night and fight of the year, I still should have finished the job faster. So I feel that it woke up something inside of me that I gotta release. But like you said, I don't now, since it just happened. I gotta see how I'm gonna train with that, if I'm gonna actually put it to use. Cause I could say and feel something, but if I don't put it to use, then there's no point. So let me heal up, and once I heal up, I'm gonna use that gas, that energy.
Yeah, it's just such an exciting proposition because, I mean, cementing yourself as like the youngest active champion in bare knuckle, but just like the way you're talking about your career and the mindset, it would seem like the best is yet to come. Like, it would seem like 2024 would be like a great year for you. I mean, you were very active through like this, last year or so, as I was kind of outlining earlier in the conversation, like multiple bare knuckle fights and some gloved combat in the Trigon too. So, I mean, just to say, I would think that 2024 could serve to really have a lot of like great showings for you. I mean, you were super active and rose through the ranks pretty quickly. So exciting thoughts for what's to come for you in 2024, it seems like.
Wow, Dylan, that sounds crazy when somebody says it. So that sounds dope, bro. Thank you, bro. Like you're saying, my career just started, so a lot of this stuff is new to me. So let's see, Dylan. That would be something I would want to know myself. Let's see, man.
Yeah, no, I love it, man. Definitely great stuff. And I feel like whenever I talk to BYB fighters, and I feel like your perspective would be interesting because, as we were talking about before, it's like you ultimately made your overall pro debut in BYB. So maybe some curious insights. Like, what's it like to compete within the Mighty Trigon itself? Because a lot is understandably made of, the tight dimensions and the finishing rate and just how it informs the progression of the fight. So what's it like for you competing in the Mighty Trigon and all?
Well, so far, the Trigon is like one of the toughest ones. I'm not saying it just because I fight there, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's like you have a little area, so you can't really run, and plus it's bare knuckle, so it's for sure a lot of adrenaline. So far, all my fights, it's had a lot of adrenaline. So yeah, so since I started off with that, I could compare it with gloves, because I did one with gloves in a boxing ring, besides the one in the triangle. But yeah, the adrenaline was not the same with I actually have fun. I have fun when I had the gloves. I was happy, but without the gloves, it's like more, it's like a war. You have to focus, and the guy in front of you, you can't be like you can't see him as your friend. It's like maybe after, but in the moment, it's war, and you got to take his head off, or else he's taking your head off. So can't really be on that friendly mindset before the fight. So that sucks, but that's what we do, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're laying down, but we've kind of talked about the Trigon combat experience before with the smaller gloves. Like, is there a certain level of like, oh, I'd be interested in, doing that next year, like maybe some smaller glove action in the Trigon, or would the focus more to solely, prioritize the bare knuckle just because you're a champion now and wanting to, build on that legacy with some defenses at all?
Oh, well, like I said, with the gloves, it's way funnier. So if we could get the job done with the gloves, let's do it with gloves. But if we got to get bare knuckle, then we got to do what we got to do, right, sir?
Yeah, no doubt. Just a lot of exciting kind of things coming up for you and everything like that. I'm kind of curious too, I guess, because a lot of bare knuckle fighters I talk to will I guess, kind of have different means of like preparing for the fights. Like some guys kind of curate their sparring differently, whether it's like bigger gloves or like the smaller gloves. Like, and also, I mean, some guys like swear by like hand strengthening, like working with like wooden Muay Thai boards or like gripping sand or whatever. Whereas some guys are like, I don't need any of that. My hands are plenty strong. Like, I guess, how do you prepare for these bare knuckle fights in terms of like glove sizes and sparring, and if you do any hand strengthening or perhaps not so much?
Okay, well, there's a lot of that I'm missing that I should be doing, but I train like a boxer since I'm a boxer. So I do a lot of bag work, a lot of boxing training, jump rope, moving my head. Yeah, so I do a lot of boxing work, bro. So rolling under the ropes and stuff, all that movement, with the right combinations. Yeah, all the basic stuff for sure, but I gotta get a little more intense with my training, like you were saying. Start hitting boards, start leveling up, because I'm not doing just boxing now. I'm freaking hitting bone on bone, so I gotta train myself a little different, make my body get used to the pain. I gotta start stepping it up a little bit. So yeah, but my training, it'll be basic boxing wise. Push myself doing that.
Yeah, I mean, just interesting to hear all of that, because, I mean, seems like your methodology's been working quite well so far with you being the champion, and also interesting that you're looking to, add these different things, but speaks to what we were talking about before, like that champion mindset and more looking at building towards the future. So, yeah, I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, sure. Appreciate you, Dylan. Thank you for the good things, the good words.
Yeah, I mean, no problem, man. Just been a fun path to watch so far, but it's been great having you on and getting some great insights from you after such an incredible fight. I mean, really kind of at a loss for words. I mean, I think that's one of those fights that once it gets a bit more breathing room, people will kind of call it, iconic. Like, it's definitely quite the throwdown for sure, but I mean, like I said before, want to be mindful of your time and what you're getting up to, and enjoying the championship splendor and all of that. So I mean, just curious if perhaps there's like a final parting thought you'd like to add as we're wrapping things up here, Julio.
Okay, well, I don't really have much of a thought right now, Dylan. I just thank you very much for having me in your podcast, and well, yeah, bro, thank you. It was great.
Yeah, I mean, likewise, man. Really wanted to set this up for a bit now. I've been enjoying watching you on the BYB Extreme circuit, so great to have you on, and hopefully many more Bare Knuckle Radio appearances to come. But just, again, like, awesome performance against Mark Irwin at BYB 22, and just, again, to reiterate, thank you for the time, Julio, and yeah, looking forward to chatting whenever the next fight gets lined up, but until then, you have a good rest of your day, man. Thank you.
Okay, perfect, Dylan. You have a great day yourself, sir.